I'm telling you all, I had a blast. Okay. Aloha, y'all, and welcome back to A Black Girl's Odyssey. I am your hostess, Breeze, and today I'm hosting this video from beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm going to be talking about the 5 main characteristics that I've noticed while I was here in Hawaii. But first things first, I need you to hit that like and subscribe button. I also need you to chime my notification bell so you will be aware of any videos I upload about my adventures in traveling. First things first, I apologize for any background noise that you may hear. I'm sitting here on my personal balcony where you can hear all the noise around because the main street to the beaches is below. And so you're going to hear the air gases from the bus, cars, horns honking, people talking, and this background noise in general. So I apologize for that. But the first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about all the activities I've done since I've been here. First things first, the first activity that I did was making this lei. I attended a lei making class. Actually, I didn't make this particular lei, but I did attend a lei making class. As you can see, they have all these beautiful purple orchids that they have to make their lei with. They don't really have much of a smell to it. They have a light scent, but it's still beautiful. And it's also another flower that they have on the island that they fashion their leis with that has a very overwhelming scent and is beautiful. That was the one that I originally made my lei with, but that one just got kind of old and tattered, so I tossed that one. But this one right here, I got at an event. So one of the first things I did when I came here, I did a lei making class. Another activity that I did while I was here the first time in all of my life, I rode a moped. So I went to the beach like one of the first days I got here and I accidentally damaged my phone. And so I had to go get a new phone. And I actually rented a moped and I went to Best Buy and then I went to T-Mobile. They got it serviced because they're my provider. And I had to get a new phone. But it was a nice experience to have. I was a little bit apprehensive about riding the moped. I actually turned it in early because I was a little bit afraid of the cars that's on the road. They were very close to me when I came to a stop, and I was afraid they was going to bump me. So I didn't use the moped for very, very long. Needless to say. Another event or another activity that I did while I was here, I went to a swap meet, aka a flea market. That's where I went to get all of my souvenirs and I got it at a reasonable price. And so it's also my first time that I actually bartered and I actually got like I said, everything at a reasonable price. But I'll speak about that a little bit later on in the video. Another thing that I did while I was here, another activity, I attended a luau. And it was a really nice experience. I highly recommend that anyone who would come to Hawaii to attend a luau. It was really worth it, and it showed everything that you could think of luau. It had the girls doing the hula and their grass skirts. It had the fire dancers. It also had a feast. It had everything. It was really, really nice. I really highly recommend that. Another event that I did while I was here, I played the ukulele. I took a ukulele lesson. I didn't actually really play it, but I learned like the basics of the ukulele, the history behind it, the format of it, and the demonstration of how to pluck the strings and how you use it to tune it and all that such, which was a very, very, very informative class. So I really appreciate that. And this morning, I made this bracelet. I took a weave bracelet making course. See, they give you a pattern and they tell you how to make it, and it's very basic, but it's very beautiful. I told someone that I wanted to not wear it. I want to just display it in my home. But the host was saying that I need to wear this bracelet because fashioning this bracelet somehow connects me to my ancestors. So I said, okay, and I'm wearing it. At least that's why I'm wearing it today. Later on, when I get back home, I'll decide if I want to keep wearing it or if I want to just go ahead and display it somewhere. But I know I will be keeping this because the host said that this particular material lasts for a very long time. He says that he has mats, hats, and other different items that his grandmother and great grandmother made that he still has till this day. And so I'm planning on keeping this for a very, very long time. I do not want it to get damaged. So those are just some of the activities that I've done while I was here in Hawaii. My trip lasts from July 31st until tomorrow, August 7th. I will be parting Hawaii very early in the morning. So this is my last day to get to anything that I want to do. I'm actually going to try to make it to the beach a few days in. That's why I'm dressed like this, because this is my last day to get any activities in. But we're going to get into what my video is really about. And it's about the 5 recognizable characteristics that I noticed about Hawaii that I have never heard anyone mention, either from word of mouth nor on any type of social media. So we're going to go ahead and get right on into it. So we're going to do our countdown as always, starting with number 5. And the fifth thing that I noticed about Hawaii is that the tourists are very, very rude. They're very rude, especially in particular the Asians. I know that Hawaii has a extensive Asian population here, and I know briefly about the history. And this is actually before World War II. I thought it was around World War II or before then. And I was told by one of the hosts that host one of the events that they came because they came to work on the plantations that they had here in Hawaii. Yes, Hawaii had plantations, um, which is another thing that forgot to mention too. That I went to the Dole plantation where the pineapples are grown, but they all had plantations there too. And so while I was here, they was telling me about the history, and you have a very, very large Japanese population. You have a Chinese population here, and as well as Filipino here, and they really pretty much run the island. And so, yeah, they don't really. They're not very approachable. They don't want you looking at them, sitting next to them, talking to them too much. And I just keep my distance as long as they keep theirs, and we'll just be fine. I didn't let anything that they really did or say discourage me. They do look at you kind of nasty, but that's fine. Like I said, I don't worry about all that. I came out here and enjoyed myself, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling you all, I had a blast. Okay. I did a lot of things solo, and I've met people along the way, but I really did enjoy this trip. But yeah, that's the fifth thing. The people, the tourists mainly are very rude, and you have tourists from all over the world. So they're not just coming from the mainland; they're coming from all over the world that's here, and a lot of them are not very pleasant. But as long as you can navigate past them, you should be absolutely fine, and you don't have anything to worry about. Okay, the fourth thing that I noticed about being in Hawaii is that you can actually do Hawaii, Honolulu on a budget. Um, the first couple of nights that I stayed here, not the first couple of nights, the very few nights, I think it was the first 5 nights I stayed here, I stayed at a hostel. And I know a lot of people say, oh my God, I don't want to stay at a hostel. It's nasty. It's disgusting. And it could very well could be. But the hostel that I stayed in was pretty fairly decent. The first few nights I shared the area, not my room. I shared an area with a guy. And then he left like 2 nights after I got there. And then a young lady came. She came into town from Boston to attend a friend's wedding. And she stayed in the hostel with me. I had my own separate room with my own air conditioning and my little personal balcony. I couldn't see much from the balcony, but it was still my own little personal space, so I really appreciate it. And then we had to share common areas. This is the kitchen and the bathroom. It did not have a living room area, which I wasn't there that often anyway to be there. They had a common area downstairs where people would get together and meet. And that's one of the beauties of being in a hostel. You get to meet people from around the world. So I won't necessarily toss that idea out. I will always keep that in the back of my mind. I'll suggest that someone stays in a hostel. I didn't really meet people because I always had activities planned, but it's a good opportunity to meet people, a good opportunity to just live in a common area and just share a life like that. And if you're a college student or have you ever been to college and you stayed in a dorm, it's the same type of setup. You will probably understand that better and be able to relate to that. If you are a person who's never had that experience, you could also ask or request a personal room. Of course, that's going to be more money. It was more money for me, but you could stay in a hostel about 30, maybe $50 a night if you want that experience as well. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're looking at coming to Hawaii. I actually knew that I was going to spend the first few nights in a hostel, and the last 3 nights, which is the last night here for me, I was going to go to a hotel. I had enough points to be able to stay in a hotel for free. So I stayed in a hotel for free for the last 3 nights. And I'm telling you right now, I currently have an excellent, stunning view of the ocean, and I have another view of a waterway on this side. On the left side of me, the right side of me is the ocean. Unfortunately, I can't share that with you because the glare is so strong from in the camera that it's not going to really give you a good view. It's going to be reflective. That's why I'm using this window as my backdrop to reduce some of the glare. So I'm sorry I can't share any um, video with you, but I will probably post some pictures if you're interested in looking. So yeah, so half of my stay was staying at a hostel for the first few nights, and then I'm staying at a hotel for free for the last 3 nights because I had points, and I also get a food credit that allows me to have at least one meal a day. I have access to free water that they give you in the hotel and all that such. So that's something for you to think about that you can do Honolulu on a budget. I went to this grocery store called Foodland, and they have like little prepackaged meals that has like rice because rice is a major staple here in Hawaii. They have rice with every meal. I'm from the South, so I understand that because we also have rice with every meal. And then they have the meat, so you can get these little prepackaged meals ranging anywhere from $5 to like $10 per little meal, and it's already pre-prepared, prepackaged. All you have to do is just warm it up when you get to the hotel or into your home or what have you. You can also get some fruit. I bought some fruit while I was here at that grocery store called Foodland, and I'm telling you, it was so sweet. Every bite was just juicy. I've had pineapple, cherries, plums. It all was so good, and I had watermelon, and it was really good. And I've also did it on the budget. When I went shopping that second or third day, I only spent $33 and I was able to have fruit for days. I had some like the prepackaged meal and everything. Also I allowed myself to spend $20 a day on each meal. So you probably want to factor that in. I keep in mind, I understand that not everyone's traveling solo. But people who have a family, and this channel is for anybody who wants to listen, but I mainly do target single solo people because I am a single solo person. And so my budget was mainly $20 a day for all my meals. And with the help of the hotel giving me free food and such, it makes it a whole lot easier. So I really appreciate that. So, but you definitely can do Hawaii on a budget. I thank God for this free hotel because these hotels in Hawaii can easily cost you $200+ a night, and that's not cheap. That's why I also suggest the hostel, or maybe you want to do like a girls or boys trip where you can go ahead and share the costs and expenses with someone else. I highly recommend that too. But just know that you can do Hawaii on a budget. People think of Hawaii as being expensive. That's if you choose to overdo it, but you could do it on the cheap. Trust me, I did, and I'll explain that to you in 1 second. Um, for example, like I said, with the lei making class and the ukulele lesson and this bracelet, these were all free events. I have something here called the Royal Hawaiian Center, and from Monday through Friday, each day they offer some type of extra event or the free event, and you can attend if you can get there in time. Seating is limited. The ukulele class was only 12 people were allowed to attend. Gratefully, I wasn't allowed to play the ukulele because she only had 12, so 12 people beat me to the area. But they did allow me to watch, and I learned, like I said, the basics of the ukulele while I was in the class. So that's something to keep in mind, that you have to get there early if you want to attend the free event. If not, you're going to lose. So the classes are held from 11 in the morning till noon. However, if you get there like 10, you probably can secure a slot. The lei making class in this weaving class was only 24 people, so they have a little bit more than a ukulele class. So get there early, reserve a spot, and you can do this for free on the cheap. And that's what happened to me. So I just want you all to understand that you can do Hawaii on a budget. I absolutely recommend it, and you can also enjoy the island. The beach is free. You don't have to pay for the beach. You may have to pay for the beach accompaniments like an umbrella. You can bring your own towels and such, but that's pretty much free, so you don't have to worry about all that. Okay, the third thing that I found recognizable about um, fine characteristic about Hawaii is that it's easy to get around. You can get what's called a holo card. The card itself you can buy at these ABC stores that they have around town. They have one practically on every corner. They're not really that far apart from each other, but you can go to the ABC store and purchase the card. It's $10 for the initial card if you buy at the ABC store, and then you can load it. Now you can load this one or two ways. You can load it in the ABC store, or you can load it online. You can register your card on the Holo website, and you can go ahead and load it online. That's what I did. And then keep the receipt the first time, because it may go through, it may not. So you can prove to the bus driver that you did load your card. But after you scan it, you see that it'll say Aloha, Aloha Mai, and then you can go ahead and keep using it each time. You can buy it in 1 day increments, a 1 day pass, which you can use all day long. That costs $7.50. Or you can use get a 3 day pass, which I currently am holding. It's $20 for 3 days. It's the same card. You just keep loading the amount that you want for how many days you want. $20 for 3 days, and you can do 7 days for $35. So I highly recommend that. You really don't need a car in Hawaii, or at least this part of Hawaii, Waikiki. Now that's a personal choice if you got a whole group of people and they need another faster mode of transportation, but the bus works just as well. And it also saves the environment, any pollution as well, because you do understand that this is an island. I would hope that you understand this is an island, so it's very congested, it's very compact, and you just don't want to be congested on the road with a car and buses and people on mopeds, because people really use mopeds and scooters hard and heavy out here. So you want to keep that in mind. Also, too, with the transportation situation, parking out here is pretty expensive. It can range, depends on where you're going at these hotels and such. It can range from a few dollars an hour to $50. The highest I think I've seen is $50 a night. So you want to keep that in mind as well. I personally think public transportation is sufficient. It was sufficient for me. It should be sufficient to you. And it can either take you like pretty much all over the island and far out into other parts of Oahu as well, which is the island that I'm currently on. So just keep that in mind. If you do it per ride, it's going to be $3 per ride, which does not make sense. A one-way ticket for the bus is $3. So you want to keep that in mind as well when you're traveling and going about on the road. $3 one way per trip. Okay, so another characteristic that I found, the next 2 points that I'm going to make are very pleasant. I really, really like them. And so, number two is I feel personally that Hawaii smells like candy, with all the fragrant flowers and the atmosphere and everything around. It smells like candy all the time. It smells so sweet. I mean, you can be walking down any given street and the wind will pick up the scent of the flowers and whisk them your way, and you can smell the city and you can smell the island on you, around you at all times. And I really, really like that. That was a very pleasant experience to have. With the lei situation, you can use the lei, and lei smells just so good. This is fragrant. It's a light scent, not like the one I previously had, but you can still smell it nonetheless. And I just love the feeling that it brings to me. It feels so comforting. So just keep that in mind that Hawaii always has a sweet smell and it smells like candy. So I like that idea about Hawaii. Okay, so my final characteristic that I noticed about Hawaii, I have to really mention this, is that the real authentic Hawaiians, not people who pretending to be Hawaiians or whatever, the authentic Hawaiians believe in the aloha spirit. So they believe in positive vibes, positive energy. They really want people to feel welcome when they come to the island. They don't want a lot of arguing, a lot of fussing, a lot of acting out. They just want people to be calm, peaceful, and enjoy the island for what it is. It's a beautiful place to be. I'm not even going to lie. And it's also a peaceful place to be. But it depends on who you interact with. That's going to probably cause some problems. And so I really recommend that when you come here, you want to adopt the mindset of the aloha spirit. And you also want to take that spirit back home with you. You want to be in positivity when you go home, not just in Hawaii, every day of your life. I know I try to practice that every day, and so should you. And so I really recommend that a lot of people consider taking on the aloha spirit and just passing along to the next person, and encouraging people to be positive, what have you. And so that was really something I really enjoyed about Hawaii. Also, another point that I want to make too about the bus situation: the bus drivers will not pull off until you sit down. That is one of the major things I realized when I was here. I've been to many cities, including the one that I currently live in. Bus drivers will not wait till you sit. As soon as you load off the bus, they're already pulling off, and you're just going and flailing all over the bus, going all over the place. But here in Hawaii, they do not do that. They wait until you are seated before they pull off, and I really think that's respect. I mean, a lot of other cities could take um note to that. And I know working all day long and dealing with people who are frustrated and angry and upset can make you feel that way too. But we shouldn't. We should adopt the aloha spirit and be positive. The bus drivers are so nice; they will try to help you get to where you need to be. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of bus drivers don't help. They don't even be talking to them. And so, because of that, I'm really grateful to the Hawaiian people. I really appreciate your patience and your understanding. While I was here, I'm really grateful. Um, so that's another thing that you notice too when you're on the buses and such. And even if you get one grumpy bus driver, that doesn't account for all the other bus drivers that you're going to get that's positive about their day. And I really greatly appreciate that. So I would recommend to any and everybody, if you're doing it on a budget or if you want to go to extreme, to visit Hawaii at least once in your life, because it will significantly change your life as far as the mindset that the people here have. And I'm talking about the authentic Hawaiians. So this wraps that up. These are the 5 recognizable characteristics of Hawaii that I noticed. It's the extremely rude tourists, mainly the Asian people. I'm just going to be honest out there. There's no stereotype, no discrimination. I'm going by personal experience. I'm not going by what someone tells me. I've been out here for a week and I noticed that already. So it's the extremely rude tourist that's here. Hawaii can be definitely done on a budget if you're cost conscious and you plan it the right way. It's easy to get around and see the island for what it is, whether you use public transportation or you choose to rent a car. It's very easy to get around. Hawaii has this very pleasant, fragrant, candy-like smell to it, and I really, really appreciate that about the island itself. And they also believe in the aloha pleasant spirit, and that's something that I think we all should adopt. So those were the 5 recognizable characteristics of Hawaii that I like. I really enjoy being out here, and I hope to come out here again. However, if I do, I will not come to this island. I will go to another island. There are several islands in the chain of Hawaii, and I will participate in another one. It will not probably be Maui either, so don't look for that. It's going to be an island where nobody don't really talk about, because I want a more authentic feel and not a commercial feel to Hawaii. So the next time I decide to come, that's what I'm going to end up doing, going to another island. So I hope you like this video. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and also share this video with a friend so they can know about my adventure traveling, and also get some knowledge about all the different places that I visited as well. I would like to say, may God bless. Take care until next time. And mahalo, which means thank you for listening to me. And you all have a great day. Goodbye.